I want to talk about two subjects as well, which is, first of all, a design competition which is now underway for the transformation of spaces around the Town Hall estate, in particular St. Peter's Square, which at the moment, as you all know, is a transport-dominated, pedestrian, unfriendly, messy space, and does nothing to improve the setting of these incredibly important buildings, often described as the best collection of civic buildings in the UK. No sort of legibility to how it works, quite dangerous because you've got three forms of transport running through it. The only one that is really acceptable is the tram. This is the area in question. The red line is the subject area of the design competition. The colours represent three conservation areas. It's so, I mean, that's how important it is. It's right in the heart of three conservation areas. These colours represent listed buildings. The darkest one is grade 1, next darkest grade 2 star, next darkest grade 2. So, amazing collection of important buildings. And this, I think you see from this drawing how there's no public space in there. It's all roads, tram lines, and parking spaces. This is just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. The colour on the top picture there is Albert Square superimposed onto St. Peter's Square. So it's actually a bit bigger than St. Peter's Square. That's Spinningfields, that one's Piccadilly Gardens, and this one's St. Anne's Square. So it's considerably bigger than St. Anne's Square, but it doesn't look like it because it's full of stuff. That's the only thing that we want to end up. We want to get rid of, we can get rid of all the vehicle movements out of the square, apart from the tram. We want to create world-class pedestrian-dominated space on almost the same scale as Albert Square. These are the opportunities of the competition. And these are what the competitors will be asked to address. And obviously, by doing that, we'll be improving the setting of all these important civic buildings. Another scope within it is to commemorate the Peterloo Massacre. And competitors have been asked to suggest an artist that they might like to work with to, in some way, commemorate it. It's not being seen as a piece of sculpture, heroic sculpture, but it could be electronic, it could be any kind of installation within the landscape. So that's an exciting extra aspect to the competition. Improve the setting of the cenotaph, which at the moment is on a kind of traffic island. You can't have a ceremony next to it which has got the kind of reverence that it ought to have, but there is the opportunity to do that in the reworking of the square. As Ian alluded to earlier, there's the potential to make this wonderful urban space, but very kind of dead space, into a galleria with active uses facing out onto it. And it goes without saying that the design must increase accessibility. It should improve all the street furniture, which is a complete mess. It should improve the lighting and signage, and hopefully be a model to other things that can spring out from it. Also, there's a crash facility in the Town Hall extension at the moment, and there's the outside play area to the crash facility. These will have to change. There's also public toilets in the Town Hall extension. All those, there's the opportunity to house them in a new, well-designed pavilion building that's part of this competition. The other project I'm talking about, we've been told to take 2 minutes on each of these, so I'm trying to get through in that time, is the Theatre Royal project, which, as I'm sure you all know, Theatre Royal at the moment is a dance venue, pretty shabby and not well looked after, but historically significant. Our brief here is to reinstate the building as a theatre and house the library theatre in it, because they have to move out of the library as that's renovated, permanently house them in the Theatre Royal, and on the back of it, facing the piazza in front of Manchester Central, a brand new 5-star hotel, which kind of completes the ring of facilities, along with what Ian's doing. It means that the whole of the conference quarter, exhibition quarter, is surrounded by excellent facilities to make it the international forum that it is already, or to improve it to that. So that's what the theatre used to look like. It's been changed about 4 times in its life, but there is the scope to get back a 450 state-of-the-art theatre within the building without spoiling the qualities it has already. You can't believe that was all stripped out in the 1920s and then changed into a cinema. But Peter Street does have the very good early Victorian character, and it has that scale still. It doesn't have all the buildings, but this is the Theatre Royal, it does have that. And our intention is that we don't destroy the scale of Peter Street in any redevelopment. But on the other side, facing the major public space in front of Manchester Central, there's a planning intent that this will be modern, active use buildings facing on the north side of the square, facing the piazza. And this is a 250-bed 5-star hotel, its entrance facing Manchester Central, but set back well enough from Peter Street that it doesn't impinge on the scale and character of Peter Street. And that's the existing theatre converted back into a proper theatre. It will be very much better than the library theatre in terms of facilities, in terms of sight lines, and historic character as well. These are just some early images of how the building will impinge on the skyline of Manchester. It's 32 stories high, so it's not trying to compete with the Beetham, which is 48. And I don't have an apartment on the top of it yet. This is just to finish off, a kind of interesting thing. If you imagine you put a red light on the top of our new building and you shine it out 360 degrees vertically in a sphere around the building, this is where the red light will hit the ground. In other words, you turn that on its head, anywhere, if you're standing anywhere where the red is, you'll see the building. Anywhere else where there's no red, you won't see the building. But it's done by computer, but it's quite an interesting sort of abstract image. Thank you very much.